Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing my most anticipated 2020 releases. So I'm going to be talking about 8 books today total. So the first book I'm going to talk about today is The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson, which is the 3rd book in the Truly Devious series, and it's going to be coming out on the 21st of January. I'm not going to be giving a synopsis for this because it is the 3rd book in the series after all, but I know that it follows right after the events of The Vanishing Stair. And I read Truly Devious and The Vanishing Stair a couple of months ago, and I think it was the best YA mystery I've read so far. The last YA mystery I read that was also set in a boarding school was A Study in Charlotte, which was written by Brittany Cavallaro. I actually read all 4 of the books. I liked the first and the last book of that series. I thought the second and third were a bit boring and a bit too angsty for my preference, but I did like the boarding school setting, which was A+. Anyway, I hope that this book, The Hand on the Wall, gives us some answers, because The Vanishing Stair gave us some answers to the 1930s mystery. So hopefully this book will give us some answers for the current mysteries. A few of the books that I'm going to talk about now actually are going to be released on the same date. So the second book I'm going to be talking about is The Midnight Lie by Marie Rutkowski, which is coming out on the 3rd of March. I've read Rutkowski's other series, which is the Winner's Trilogy. I do have them, but my mom's borrowing it at the moment. I'm pretty sure this book is set in the same world as the Winner's Trilogy, so I need to reread that trilogy because I don't remember anything about that world. I actually don't know what this book is about, and I want it to stay that way because I just like to be surprised when it comes to fantasy books. But all I know is there will be an LGBTQ romance, and it is a YA fantasy. The 3rd book is The House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. Just because it's Sarah J. Maas, that's literally the reason why I'm getting that book, because Sarah J. Maas. I love her books. I read the A Court of Thorns and Roses series this year, and obviously now A Court of Mist and Fury is my favorite book of all time. I just know that this book is a new adult fantasy, which is basically the same as her other series, and that there is fae in this series as well. So you best know that there's going to be a great romance story. I love the way that she creates the chemistry between her 2 characters. I absolutely love it so much. The 4th book I'm going to be talking about is The 8 Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson. This is also going to be coming out on the 3rd of March. I've actually never read a Peter Swanson book before, but I know he writes thrillers based on his Goodreads profile, and I found this book actually through Books and Lala. When she read the synopsis, I immediately added it to my most anticipated reads of 2020. So it follows an author that writes thrillers, and one day someone murders people exactly the same as how the murders takes place in his book. So the FBI basically recruits this author to try and find the killer. Right? It sounds so good. I can't wait to read this book. Now, since there is the FBI involved in this story, I'm a bit wary because I think I've said multiple times that I'm not really particularly interested in detective stories, or like if there's a detective perspective in the story. I think it's pretty boring and not really thrilling at all. But who knows? Maybe this book is an exception, so we'll just see. The 5th book is The Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare, which also comes out on the 3rd of March. And again, this is a Cassandra Clare book. I'm just buying it because it's a Cassandra Clare book. Also, I haven't read the synopsis for this because I actually haven't read the Dark Artifices series, so I don't want to read the synopsis just in case it spoils the Dark Artifices series. I'm very paranoid, so that's why I don't want to read the synopsis. But I do know that it follows the children of Tess and Will from the Infernal Devices, so I can't wait for more Will content because I absolutely love Will in this series. The 6th book is The Raven and Dove by Caitlin Davis, which comes out on the 9th of March. I actually read the synopsis and actually found the book on NetGalley, so I've requested it. So hopefully I get approved because it sounds so amazing. So this is a YA fantasy, and it follows 3 characters. First character is a princess who's trying to find her perfect mate. But before she does that, she is going on another adventure, so she leaves the palace. And she's basically called the Dove. And the second character who is named Raph, and he is the half brother of the prince who's supposed to marry the princess, and he is called the Raven. The third character we follow is a young king that sails the sea, and he wants to find and marry the princess because he believes she can save the world from darkness. The thing that caught my attention was Raph and the princess can fly. They have wings, like, big giant angel wings. That's the reason why I want to read this book. My attention is caught so easily. Looking at Caitlin Davis's Goodreads profile, she has written some other series, like YA fantasy series. So if I really like her writing style in this book, I would definitely pick up some of her backlist series. The second last book is called The Beach Read by Emily Henry, and this comes out on the 18th of May. This is an adult romance book, and it follows two authors, Augustus and January. Augustus writes literary fiction, while January writes adult romances. So for 3 months, they're living side by side in beach houses to write basically their books. But as they meet, they want to switch genres just to see what the other genre is like. And hopefully, and hate to love romance bills because I love that trope. Also, looking at Emily Henry's Goodreads profile, I just realized that she co-wrote Hello Girls, which is also written by Brittany Cavallaro, who wrote The Study in Charlotte that I mentioned before, and her other book called A Million Junes, which I know from Zoe Reads because she just posted a recent vlog that she mentioned that book. Also, I found the book Beach Read by Emily Henry through Gabby Reads, and she's such an amazing booktuber, so I'll put her information down in the description because you should check her out. The last and final book I'm going to be talking about is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, and this comes out on the 19th of May. When it was announced, I didn't know I wanted this book, and I can't wait to dive back into the world of Panem. I'm gonna read the synopsis word for word, alright? So, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes will revisit the world of Panem 64 years before the events of the Hunger Games, starting on the morning of the reaping of the 10th Hunger Games. In this story, we'll be definitely following Mags, who we meet in Catching Fire. Imagine if she's like a sassy, badass bitch. That's so cool. I can't wait to read about her more. That's it, guys. I hope you found some of your most anticipated reads of 2020 from this list. And all the books that are coming on 3rd March, God, there's so many. And my boyfriend's birthday is on 3rd March as well, so my bank account will be crying. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!